get a Compton crazy mother named Ice Cube from the gang called Fellers with Attitude.
Wow. We got a cool unboxing, guys. Woo! Look what Glen scored from our cool buddy Patrick at the ODA show. I know the Autoworlds that have that ring on the box. Woo! Can't wait to see that. That explains it for you guys. I was telling Glen, anytime you see an Autoworld box with that ring on the box, you're getting high quality stuff. Looks like it's like an anniversary piece or something, but we're gonna find out. Detailed engine, accurate interior and chassis, steerable front wheels, opening doors and hood. Not a huge fan of Mustangs of that year, but I am a huge fan of blue in that shade, I'll tell you. And I'm a big fan of detail. Let's get into it. KRAK it.
This episode of KRAK It with Retro Collectibles is sponsored by and in association with the Cowie Diecast Museum, killing the value on collectibles since 2019.
Okay guys, I'm actually looking forward to this because like I said, it's a brand spanking new Autoworld. And whenever I see the Autoworlds with those class rings on the box, we're in for a treat. If you watched my video at ODA yesterday, that Charger that Patrick sold Alex, if Alex wouldn't have bought that, one of us would have bought it because that was gorgeous. And by the way, Patrick, if you're watching this video, I guess Alex opened up that Charger and it was number 141, or it was 140 something. It was a crazy low number. Gotta pick up Pepsi. Okay. So, brand crispy new box. Not a dimple on the plastic. This is how you want to keep it. This is brand new. This is not stuff that comes to Canada stores. Typically, you have to order them. Get them through a guy like Patrick. Order them out of province, whatever you do. Some of the colors are very limited to get as well. Some of them are hard. I'm not, like I said, a particular huge fan of this body style Mustang, even though it's like the first Eleanor, which I'm going to grab my Ertl Eleanor and we'll pull it out at the end. But I love the color blue of this, and I have not seen a lot of these in blue. And this is an American Muscle Autoworld, so it's the same idea as my Bullet Charger. It's gonna have those details, okay? Yeah, and it marks from 73 to 2023. So this is a new casting last year. Q code 351 cubic inch Cleveland V8. The last car we unboxed was the 351 Windsor. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit because it is interesting, guys. I'm going to keep this as steady as I can. Look at the wheels on that. As steady as I can. Because it is interesting. I want to get to the engine part. Okay, so the deluxe interior was carefully crafted in black high-back bucket seats, the wood grain trim, a 3-spoke rim blow steering wheel, and a detailed instrument cluster with tachometer, ammeter, oil pressure, and temperature gauges. Autoworld has replicated the 73 Ford Mustang Mach 1, painted in a factory-matched 3K blue glow, wearing wide silver Mach 1 stripes. Painted in Ford blue, the 351 Cleveland is fed fresh air through the dual vented NASA hood. Wow. Now this, guys, when I say I'm going to put the original Ertl Eleanor beside this at the end of the video, this is not a competition between those. This would blow that out of the water. So I want to make that clear. We're not doing a shootout between this and that. I'm just doing a comparison just to show you guys how Autoworld has dialed up the details over the years. Kind of raised the bar for the other guys. I love Autoworld. I love silver screen machines. I love the color of this. I love the wheels. They actually look like Kragers. Like if I took those off of Glen's Mustang here and put them on the blue Charger, Dennis's Charger from Christine, the custom I made. Wow. Wowzer. So let's get into this. Okay guys, we are going to get into this beauty. I've got the light off for now, just conserving it till we crack this open. By the way, we took the AliExpress turntable to the show today and I ran it off the battery pack. And usually we only run the turntable for short amounts of time doing these videos, taking pictures, whatever. Today we ran it all day on the battery pack. Now that battery pack's not a normal battery pack. It's meant to jump boost a car. Like it's the booster kit from Costco. But I had the turntable run off that all day continuously and it didn't even take a dent out of the battery. That was pretty cool. Being very careful. Well, we almost got her. Very important to keep the box as mint as possible.
Okay, so you gotta open it without breaking the seal.
Yeah, it's basically, I'm almost trying to do that. There we go. There we go, guys. About to let this breathe. Crack the flap, guys. Gonna let it breathe. Patrick, your car's coming out. Patrick, by the way, if you guys go to the ODA show, he's always got cool stuff at his booth. I always end up recording stuff at his booth. His booth is one of the guys I always show. He's always got stuff. Like, I try not to show all the same RLC and premium stuff that you guys see all the time anyway. He has all the stuff from the States, the Autoworld stuff, the stuff we don't get here. So it's a breath of fresh air, Patrick, what you bring to the show. But look at that paint, guys. Look at the rims. Yeah, those look similar. They're not exactly Kragers, but they look like they would work on the Christine Blue Charger. But that is gorgeous paint. Of course, no paint rash I'm not seeing, but I'll let you guys have a look too. A good thing about this car is even if it had paint rash with the color of it, it would be hard to spot. But that is gorgeous. Wow, it looks wet almost. So these Autoworld boxes, by the way, same with Greenlight and the other modern guys. What I like about them is they're making these cars now so that you can take them out of the box without destroying the box. If you notice it's not on a base, very easy to take this off this plastic tray. It just has little tape on either side. You just cut the tape. But you keep the plastic tray, you keep all the inserts. New collectors, if you're going to open this stuff, keep everything. That way you maximize your resale value. If God forbid down the road you lose interest, you have an emergency, you got to sell your stuff. You have a split up with your wife and you have to sell your stuff because you're not going to have a huge toy room anymore. Stuff like that. Yeah, you just want to keep it at the most value you can, you know. And if you're like me, you want to see the details of this beautiful stuff. You want it out of the box where you could see it. At least Autoworld, the box that they give you, even has a window on the bottom. Like, they do it right. They still have the windows. That's the one complaint I have about GNP. I love cake style boxes, but I hate cake style boxes. I love them for the protection, but I hate them for basically you have to take them out of the box to display. You have no choice, or else you're displaying a box. Like, you're displaying a picture on a box, basically. So it's got the plastic on the spoiler and on the nose. We even keep that plastic, guys. We throw nothing out, okay? This color blue, wow. And I love that stripe on it.
That's not much darker than my truck.
No, it's almost the same color as Glen's truck. And I thought that stripe was white, but it's silver, actually. That is beautiful. Steering is beautiful. A little bit stiff at first when I turned it, but the steering is gorgeous. Okay, so you know how we're going to do it, guys. We're going to... Oh, I got to turn on the light. We're going to have a look at this first here, and then we're going to have a look at it under the different lighting conditions on the look-see set. See the different angles. Look at those rims, guys. Those really set the car off. You walk up and look at that box. Jesus.
The steering wheel looks like one of them old wooden ones.
Yeah, it's wood grain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a wood grain interior. Look at the detail on the stripe. And I'm going to show you guys to really appreciate it. I'm going to put it beside my Ertl Mach 1 Eleanor, which I love to pieces. I love Ertl to pieces, but you're going to see the difference in detail. This has a little bit of that oil on it that they ship, and that is to prevent rust, I believe. It's to prevent rusting in storage. Just a little coating of it they put on the car. But yeah, so we'll start with the trunk. Oh, trunk does, oh, okay, it does open. I was going to say, or does it? You know what? Feels like it wants to. Oh, and wow, that's got a lot of oil. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to wipe this down. Wow, guys. I was showing you before, but it wasn't doing it justice. It's like I just told Glen, because it had that coating of oil, it was actually distorting the paint. It looks better after I wiped it off. Anyway, this trunk, it looks like it wants to open, but I don't want to force it. I'm going to read more into it to see if the trunk does open, but I'm not going to force it. I know the trunk on the Mach 1 Eleanor won't open because none of the Ertl trunks open. So we're going to go, actually, since the trunk won't open, we'll go to the underneath the car. And Glen has a nice low number again. He gets lucky with these numbers. Number 369. And with Autoworld, they do it nice and clear where you can read it. By the way, guys, the person in the beginning of the video, I'm not maliciously knocking or making fun of anybody. She stuck out in the crowd of seniors, you know what I mean, with her pink hair and stuff. And the Loch Ness Monster thing was because of the tall hair and because she was tall. It wasn't meaning that she was an ugly person, anything. No malicious intent, I'll just say that. Something interesting on the bottom here. See, that says Ertl. They used a lot of the Ertl castings but cleaned them right up. So this will have some similarities to Eleanor, but you're going to see where they took that original casting and detailed it to the wazoo. There is that license plate for the code. Mach 1 on the side. Okay, so we'll get into the interior. I expect big things from Autoworld. Doors open, beautiful. A little bit tight because it's new, but they are beautiful. And there is that two-tone interior that you don't see a lot of. Black with beautiful wood grain. Does that ever pop? Just that little addition of the two-tone, that wood grain inlay. The chrome on the dashboard. Just little things like that makes it pop. It makes the difference. The little dial, the lock thing on the glove box, you know. Seats probably move. Yes, they do. Okay, so we'll go around to the American side, have a look, and then you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna check under the hood, the best part, and then it's up to the look-see set. Takes about 20 minutes to stroll over to the look-see set though, because we're on a pretty sprawling property here. So you'll have to take a few minutes for me to walk over there. But look at that interior. I'm looking forward to looking at that gauge cluster up on the look-see set. That is nice. I was shaking the car to see. I thought there was something hanging off the mirror like dice, but it was the mirror itself. Beautiful color. Wow. Can't say enough about the color and the tires and rims. Really, really. Okay, so under the hood, they got hood locks, but they're non-functioning, but they look realistic enough that I had to check. So that means that they've done a good job making them look real, right? If you got to check to see if they got the little cotter pins in it or if they're real, it looks good. Oh, that 351 Cleveland with the light blue air cleaner. We're going to see under better light conditions, guys. Better angle too. But just to give an idea what you're dealing with this Autoworld stuff. Oh, wow. I'm shocked that the drive shaft does not spin. I am shocked. Because with the class rings, they're usually out the wazoo. But you know what? Those tires and wheels make up for it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this year Mustang, but it's going to get a good retro grade. So let's take a stroll up to the look-see set. Time for court. Guys, look at that paint on this. It is beautiful. Gorgeous paint. Wow, it's actually factory matched paint from the actual color. The color is actually factory matched. Well, it's 3K Blue Glow is the color. But look at that. Look at the rims. I told Glen, the rims and tires are worth the price of admission alone. I mean, that is gorgeous. Just slowing it down. I'm trying not to wobble, guys. And there is no paint rash on the car. If you're seeing anything funny, it's just because it has that oil residue. I didn't wipe every last bit of it off, even though I tried, but... And by the way, Eleanor is a 1971. This is a 1973. But it's like my Mazda 3. The body style didn't change a lot over the years for a lot of years. So, we're going to have a look. Okay, time for court. Look at the details. Look at that gauge cluster, guys. The gauge cluster is one of the things they were boasting. Look at the pedals, the grooves on the pedals, the brake, gas, the moldings along the bottom of the doors. I love the two-tone. It's got that cool license plate Q code. That's for that Q code 351 Cleveland that rocks this thing. Coming all the way over to the American side. Here's Eleanor in the background saying, "Let me in there." Not yet, Eleanor. Just another little peek. Sorry guys, had to zoom in, but look at that. Look at that center console now that we're zoomed in. Crazy. There, get her zoomed right in. See the radio and everything. Speaking of Q code, there's that Q code, that big 351 Cleveland. Look on the fan shroud, the detail. Wow. Trying to get right in there to see. Wow. You get the drift. There's the battery. Heads. Wow. Just outside for a breath of fresh air. We're going to go in there in a second, and I'm going to line up the Eleanor, which is the Ertl casting, 1971. Beside the 73, now this is not a shootout, it's not a showdown, guys, because the blue car would smoke Eleanor. It's not fair. It's just to show you guys kind of how it's evolved and what Autoworld has done with the casting. If it is in fact the same casting, because we know it's an Ertl casting, but it is a different year. But the body style didn't change much, so it might be the exact same casting. We're gonna have a look. And for those wondering, the memory thing for my phone is going to be here any second. It's in Stony Creek. I think I already mentioned that. Well, not tonight, it won't be here. It's like, just so you guys know, you guys are going to be watching this Sunday. This is Saturday night after ODA where I'm shooting this. So yeah, it's not coming tonight, but it'll be here any minute. I'm hoping that by Monday or Tuesday, I get the ping saying that my Super Elite DeLorean is in town. Should be anytime. But anyway, let's check this thing out beside Eleanor. Okay guys, so I just showed Glen that this Eleanor casting, this 1971 Mustang Mach 1 Ertl casting, is the same as this 1973 blue one. Now, of course, it's not the same because Autoworld takes it and puts their magic touch on it. But there's a simple way I figured out it's the same. I mean, they got very similar front ends, but they got different hoods you could see. They both got the little hood locks, but they got different hoods. The hoods open in the exact same reliable, beautiful, smooth Ertl way, but they got different engines. Different looking engines anyway. I know this one's the 351 Q code. I thought this was the 351 in Eleanor. I'll look it up by the end of the video. I can't remember. To be honest, guys, the 2000 Gone in 60 Seconds was my version of the movie. It was my old man that told me, you know, that's not the original version, right? That's the remake. But just to show you the magic that Autoworld does when they take one of these castings. Like, look under the hood. Look at the difference. Now, they did an awesome job with Eleanor here, because a lot of the cars that Ertl did, they don't even have the terminals painted on the battery. They did a good job under that hood, but this is just a tad bit, as you can see. Looking down the car, guys, same ride height. The mirrors are identical, but the cars sit the same. Now, this one has the awesome spoiler. Eleanor doesn't have a spoiler. Eleanor has mud flaps. This doesn't have mud flaps, but very similar. Even the back mesh along the back, the back trunk lid, very similar. You could definitely tell they're cousins. Oh, guys, yeah, this is a dead giveaway. Look at that door. And look at the door on blue here. Look at the interior, the steering wheel and stuff. Have a look. And have a look. The Urdle's no slouch. The Urdle is no slouch, guys. I'm impressed. Actually, I'm very impressed. And this Eleanor, believe it or not, I wasn't gonna buy this originally because I liked the 2000 one better.
Yep, right
Wow.
down to the screw holes for the base.
Yep. One last look, guys, and then I'm gonna sit down, give it its retrograde, and I'm gonna tell you the surefire way I know it's the same car. Okay, guys, I do got the light on over here because I'm going to show you the surefire way that I know. Now, obviously, they sit the same, they look the same. So even though they're a different year casting, 71 and 73, it's the same thing. It's like my Mazda 3 didn't change over a few years, you know what I mean? They did change certain things. The blue one has a spoiler. Of course, the blue one is done up to the tits with details. They've cleaned it up. But that is the bones of it, and I'm going to show you how. So, Eleanor, and don't go away after this, because before the end of the video, I'm going to show you Glen's score from ODA. I would say from the ODA show today, but by the time you guys see this, it's going to be a couple days ago. So I'm going to say from the ODA show a couple days ago. So, Eleanor came from the era of cars coming on bases. Okay, you know the Urdle boxes, they came on the base with the plastic window on the front, that style. And you know that I have my little kit here for unboxing. I got my old reliable and my little blue stubby for the unboxings. These come on bases. Okay, this is mint and beautiful. Glen sold me this, actually. They come on bases. So this has screw points, right? So I could put this back on the base. One screw there, one screw there. So you remember the blue car is from the new school. It does not come on a base. It rolls beautiful, by the way, guys. I should have showed you that. But the blue car does not come on a base. It comes in the new style tray like this. It's made to go in and out of the box without screwing everything up. I showed Glen, look on the bottom what it has. And it's in the exact same points on Eleanor. And you see where the Urdle is right there? Where my finger is. See, there's one hole, there's another hole here. Now watch this. That was blue. Remember where the holes were? Same exact, okay? Like I could take blue here. And literally screw blue down onto Eleanor's platform base and put it in Eleanor's box. Like it would screw onto Eleanor's base. They're in the exact same spot. So that's how I know. They used, well, it was obvious because it says Urdle on it and all that, but I didn't know if it was the same because it's different years, guys, right? But yeah, it's got the screw holes to go on the base. This is basically Eleanor on steroids in a different color with a cool spoiler. One last look at the mills, the Mach mills. Show you Eleanor's too. Now, actually, before I go, I'm going to check Eleanor's mill size too, because that's the 351 Cleveland and the blue one. I want to know if this is just a different air filter. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to check that. Then we're going to get the retro score for this blue one. And it's going to be a good one. So interesting information I just looked up, guys. I tried looking up information because, you know, I like giving you guys all the info I can. We know that this has the 351 Cleveland in it. We know that. Now, this engine looks different than this one that's in Eleanor. So I wanted to know what engine is in the original Eleanor. We know which engine's in the 2000 remake Eleanor, but I want to know what one that is officially, okay? I just looked in a forum of guys that are experts on every detail of this car. Like they've taken diecasts of these and made it like movie authentic down to the strut tower braces and everything else in it, like, or the shock towers, whatever. Like every little detail, okay? Apparently, so this is a 73 Mustang right here. This, apparently in the movie, it's a 71 Mustang, but they modified it to look like a 73 Mustang. It's supposed to be the last of the Mach 1 Mustangs or whatever. They didn't actually say it's a 73, but apparently it's a 71 made to look like a 73, according to this forum. The engine is all over the place. I don't know what to tell you guys. The two main, like I heard everything from 429 Cobra Jet, because these came in a wide array of engines, and the actual engine I don't think was mentioned in the movie, but it's believed to be either a 351 Cleveland or a 351 Boss Cleveland. Or no, a 351 Cleveland or a 351 Boss. Yeah, I know one of them was a 351 Cleveland, which is the same as that. But it doesn't look the same as that, so who knows? Anyway, guys, when they made this movie, they didn't talk a lot about the technicalities of the car. So you got to speculate a lot of it. But if it was a 71 made to look like a 73, that explains a lot of how it looks so much like that car. And we know it's the same casting because of the screw points. Now, getting down to Glen buying this beautiful car, I want to talk about good vendors, okay? I'm going to give this vendor a shout out. His name is Patrick McCrudden. He does most of the diecast shows in the area. He does the ODA show every time. He's a heck of a nice guy. Now, judging by his name, he's a brother. He knows what I'm talking about. So he's not out to screw people. He's got a belief system, and he's got honor. He actually sold that to Glen for $150. Okay, now I was trying to look up, not the value of the model because I trust Patrick. I was trying to look up how many of these were made, okay, because it has a number on the bottom that's fairly low. I was trying to look up how many was made. Usually eBay, places like that tell me. It popped up at Passion Diecast that it's still for sale, so I had a look. Patrick charged Glen $150 for this car. Passion Diecast is one of my go-to places to order from in Quebec. Anybody in Canada, I tell them check Passion Diecast or check Nice Car Diecast. I like them both equal, okay? Nice Car and Passion, if you're watching, like you both equal. That's where I recommend Canadian shoppers to go. Or there's another one, Yoma Car Model in British Columbia. But if you're in Ontario, you get hooked for the shipping. A little bit expensive, but great prices. But anyway, Patrick charged them $150. At my go-to diecast shop, this here is $109 plus tax plus shipping. So Glen would have paid right around $150. Maybe he would have paid a couple dollars less, or maybe even a couple dollars more from ordering it from my source. And this is from a vendor from the show. So if you want a good vendor, if you know who Patrick is, ever see him at the show, check out his table. He's got different stuff and he's got ethics. He's not going to screw you, because a lot of guys would have taken this and said, here you go, Glen, $300. And he didn't do that because he's got honor. So shout out, Patrick. I heard that. When I looked at that, I said, wow, that's a cool dude. I knew he was cool already, but when I saw that, that's a good vendor. And to all the other vendors, if I talk to you, I like you. I got no problem with vendors. It's the odd bad apple, you know what I'm saying? If I like you, if I say hi to you walking by you, if I walk by you and you say hi to me and I put my head down, then that's a different story. But anyway, Patrick, shout out to you, and anybody that goes to the show should check out Patrick McCrudden's table, because that's a wicked deal. Before we go, this beautiful car, retro score 8 out of 10. Those wheels are amazing. Now, an 8 out of 10 is a very, very, very high score, guys. It's way above average. Average is about a 6. 5.5 for a 6. So this is way above average. I love the wheels. It rolls beautiful, but those really pop out, guys. I hope the video is doing them justice. I almost want to leave this on cinder blocks and see how they look on Christine Blue Charger, but I wouldn't do that to Glen ever. But yeah, that's gorgeous. Retro score 8 out of 10 for that beauty. And before we go, I'm going to show you guys Glen's score at the ODA show, which will be 2 days ago now, because I'm coming at you guys from, or maybe it's the future. So he's got it set up on the floor for you guys already. He has it all laid out because it's a nice little score and there's not a lot of ways to look at it in the room. Well, with room. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you guys the score. A lot of cool stuff here. Different stuff, not the same tired premiums. First thing he got is this. Wow, Glen, $15. That's a heck of a deal actually for that. These are sought after. Poor Glen has passed out. He's been up since like 6 this morning. Little bit of shelf wear on it, but these are sought after and you can understand why. Look how cool that looks. There's an older Super I used to own. That I don't know if I sold it to him or somebody else, but I know I sold it to somebody. Oh, he had that himself, the 7-Eleven ones. Those are cool. Now these are replicas, guys, but you can understand why those are cool. They look exactly like they came out back in the day. That's my first RLC car. Well, not mine, but I had one just like it. That was my first one. There's a couple Cyclones. He's liking the Cyclones now since we unboxed the other ones. Ooh. Like the older Mopars. Those snap-ons are nice too. Ooh. It's a whole Mopar set. The old Johnny Lightning, the Charger. I had some of these birds here in different colors from this set. Some more older stuff. I'll show you some of the coolest stuff he got, in my opinion, the rarest stuff. I collected these, and that one is rare, guys. I never even seen this one before today. And I love this line because they come like green lights. So they're very hard to screw up the packaging. He didn't pay $80 for it either. He got a good deal on it. But it's not far off from $80 because of the rarity of it. Because like I said, I have never seen this one. And then he has, oh, hold on, I'll show you the other thing. Now, if you guys remember my toy room, if you're a new viewer and didn't see my toy room video, you can go back and have a look. But my collection was focused on a lot of this older cool stuff. This is from 2001. It's one of the dioramas that they did. They did some awesome ones. They did Ghostbusters, they did, but this was one of my favorite ones because it shows the race scene. I had this, I sold it to Glen, and then Glen went and got another one today because he's got to have 6 of it. 6 of each. I'm just kidding. But that was a must-have for me, and I sold it to Glen, and now he has another one. Now this one is cooler than that, guys. This is the Hot Wheels collectibles version of that, okay? This is numbered. Now, a lot of the old stuff, the rubber bands break on this stuff. Not the fault of anybody, the collector or anybody, but that's probably why the hood's up a little bit. But this is a numbered set as well. And there's the number. It's the 25th anniversary, guys. It's all the way from 1998. I was a young man then. I might have been in Calgary, like running from the cops back in the Sioux that year. Maybe. Just kidding. So there you have it, guys. That was the Autoworld 1973 Mustang Mach 1 Class of 73 edition, in conjunction with American Muscle Authentics, where they took the old Ertl casting and gave it a shot at testosterone. And it looks great. Retro score of 8 out of 10. Once again, shout out to vendor Patrick McCrudden for giving Glen a great deal on that and for having really good ethics as a vendor in general. I like how he rolls. And if you go to the shows, I always say I don't want to show you guys the tire roll premiums and all the same RLCs. Go check out his table because it's the stuff I'm talking about. It's the different stuff. It's a breath of fresh air. And that's about it, guys. I hope you all have a good Easter and be safe. Don't drink and drive. If you're a retro maniac, you're not going to drink and drive. You know better. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please smash like button for me. Hit subscribe and share. And as always, happy hunting.